Hey guys, it's Simon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 10th of February 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on both AEW Dynamite and NXT on the USA Network. I thought that both shows were pretty good, but I know you guys are going to ask, which one did you like better? And I think I would say Dynamite. I really did enjoy the main event. Granted, the main event of NXT was really good as well, but I did enjoy the main event of Dynamite maybe just a little bit more. And I also felt Dynamite just had a little more substance to it as well, even though Takeover was supposed to be building to, not Takeover, but NXT was supposed to be building to the pay-per-view. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited or youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching here on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either by by donating the button down below or donating some Twitch bits in the live chat. Plus, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, either with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, not only on March 5th can you watch Coming to America with Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy, well, get a free Twitch Prime subscription, and I would greatly appreciate it if you use that one free Twitch Prime subscription on us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. On the flip side, if you're watching on YouTube, yeah, I know, Kennedy, I say 2020 still. I messed up. It's all good. But with that, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can help us out there as well, either by submitting a super chat or super sticker donation. All super chat donations do get read live on the air, or by becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get some perks like early access content. I do think I'm going to start doing a Patreon and members only quick news recap podcast for the weekends, starting maybe not this weekend, but the following. And other stuff too that we're trying to work on to see what would work for your guys as far as you guys, subscribing and actually paying for the service, what we feel would be comparable for you guys. But with that, all you got to do to become a channel member is hit that join button down below where it says subscribe, or you can always just go over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. But with that, we got to get our polls going as we let a couple more of you jump into the live stream. What did you think of tonight's Dynamite? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right, poll is live on Twitch. Throw that same poll on YouTube. I liked it. It was all right. Excuse me. Didn't like it. All right, guys, hit that poll up at the top of the chat on both Twitch and YouTube. Let me know what you thought of tonight's AEW Dynamite, as that is the first show we're going to talk about. 1 second to get things situated. All right, I think we're good to go. All right, so AEW Dynamite kicked off with TNT Championship on the line. Darby Allin defending against Joey Janela. Now, these two have had some spectacular matches in the past. One in Evolve and one that was just amazing in PWG. But those were more like death-defying matches where they were able to just go out and do whatever they wanted. They didn't have to worry about time or any of that. And it was just like, hey, you guys got X amount of time for your match. Go out there and do whatever. They didn't have to hit cues for commercials or anything of the sort. And so this match, I don't want to say was hindered because of that, but it wasn't what those matches were, at least to me. But I still thought that this was a pretty good match nonetheless. They performed some chain wrestling early until Allin took control with an arm drag and a drop kick. They fought on the apron, where Janela dropped Allin over the side of the ring with a release suplex. Janela followed it up with a tope suicida and rolled Allin back in for a 2. Also, excuse me if I sound weird. I got a stuffed up nose. Janela tried to maintain control with some corner forearm shots. Janela then landed a diving axe handle and taunted Allen, but Allen pulled him off the top rope on the follow-up, and Janela maintained control, though. He hit a knee to Allen, which sent Allen flying into the corner, where Janela hit him with a drop kick. Janela's arm was the target here of Darby Allin, though. Allen followed up his attack here with a low tope that looked great and got a 2 off of it. Allen applied the Fujiwara armbar, and Janela had to fight to make it to the ropes. I liked this spot because it wasn't just like, oh, they slid over. No, Joey Janela made it seem like he was in pain. He had to really work to get to the ropes and not just like, oh, I'm going to use my power and get over there like we see in this spot before, with this spot in the past. So Allen went for the coffin drop, but Janela turned it into a German suplex, which looked really good, and followed it up with a thrust kick for a 2. Janela took too long to follow up, so Allen sent him to the mat with an arm wringer. They exchanged the forearms in the center of the ring. Janela downed Allen with a lariat. Allen countered into a stunner and a jackknife pin for a 2. Janela at one point then sent Allen up to the top rope and scratched him with a slap. Allen turned it into a top rope code red, can't speak, got a 2 off of that. Then an arm trap STO set Allen up perfectly to hit the coffin drop and retain the TNT Championship. So a fun match to open up the show. Again, I don't think it was as good as the previous matches they've had outside of AEW, but for what they had to work with tonight, I thought it was pretty good. Next up, Jon Moxley would address Kenta and his attack from last week. He thinks what? Alexa, stop. I need to remember just to mute that thing before we go live every time. I didn't even say Alexa. I said Kenta. What the hell? Anyways. Where was I? Moxley thinks that what happened with Kenta is that he realized that time for talk is over. And on February 26th, they are going to stand toe-to-toe in a war of attribution. I think that's what he said. Attrition. There's the thing for anybody wondering. We've already done the match. The match was filmed back in December. Like months ago. 2.5 months ago. No, roughly 2 months ago. So they did, all their stuff tonight. Kenta still had the briefcase. Moxley has the title. But technically, that match has already taken place. But it'll air at the end of the month. And apparently, from what I heard today, but I didn't get this 100% confirmed, I was just told Mox may not have been the only surprise at that U.S. New Beginning taping. So, just saying. So Moxley said that's a sanctioned match for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, but tonight it's not sanctioned, and tonight is just for fun. Moxley did not mention New Japan or Strong by name, which was weird, but he did say IWGP US Championship. So we'll see why that was not mentioned, but Excalibur and them on commentary all about New Japan and all that, and the Forbidden Door and Bullet Club tonight. So I don't know why Moxley didn't mention it. Sammy Guevara entered the Inner Circle's locker room and sent everyone out but MJF. MJF said, even you, Wardlow, but the cameraman had to stay. Sammy said that he's watched what's been going on, and last week he knew exactly what MJF was trying to do, try to take over the Inner Circle. MJF thought that this was just jealousy at first because MJF is the new favorite of Chris Jericho. But now MJF thinks that Guevara hates Chris Jericho and wants to take over the Inner Circle himself. Guevara would get defensive and state, and I quote, "What? You want me to say I hate Chris Jericho?" MJF goes, "That's exactly what I wanted. I'm done here." And he grabs his phone. Sammy goes, "Oh, were you recording me? What?" And MJF's like, "What do you mean recording you?" He's like, snatches the phone from MJF, throws it against the wall, and MJF's like, "That was my phone." The segment came across well, but it was weird because it was like, it would have been better if we didn't know the camera was there and it just came off a little too rehearsed. They should have done it, and I don't even know if it was, but because the cameraman was there, and we were supposed to know that they knew that the cameraman was staying, it would have been better if like Sammy brought in his vlog camera, set it up where MJF didn't know it was there, and then we went from there. That would have been better. I think that would have been great. That, Sammy wanted cameras there to record what was said. But it came off just a little scripted and hokey with the camera being there and them being like, we're doing all this in front of the camera. No, that should have been stuff that you would do behind closed doors with no cameras and all, I don't know. Also, when the hell did MJF turn his phone on to record? We didn't see that. So going forward, Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson took on Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. Tony Khan did officially announce tonight that Lee Johnson has been signed to a full-time deal with All Elite Wrestling. He basically stated, actually, let me read the tweet. It was a pretty good tweet by Tony Khan, like a pretty nice tweet about Lee Johnson. He stated, and I quote, "In April, most of the roster couldn't travel, and we needed local talent for AEW Dynamite. Cody Rhodes recommended his pupil, Big Shorty Lee Johnson. Lee came and worked so hard. I was blown away and kept booking him. With Cody's guidance, Lee got his first win tonight. Congrats, Lee. Now it's official." Then they have the graphic. Lee Johnson is All Elite. So Lee Johnson has been signed to a full-time deal with All Elite Wrestling. Kind of shocked that he already wasn't. I assumed that he was when they announced he was in the Nightmare family. Well, I guess that means Nick Camarado and Aaron Solo are not signed to full-time deals, but probably will be sometime in the near future. This match was all right. I never really fully got into it. I don't know why. Cody easily took control early of Peter Avalon, and Johnson tagged in, and Bononi made a blind tag and laid out Johnson. Avalon tagged back in, and he sent Lee Johnson to the mat with a drop kick. Johnson reared back with a right hand, though, and Avalon fled to Bononi for the tag. A jawbreaker allowed Johnson to tag Cody, who landed clotheslines on Bononi. Bononi came back with a follow-away slam ahead of the commercial break. Cody caught Avalon on a springboard and hit a backbreaker. He then got the hot tag to Johnson as Johnson ran wild with a series of strikes and a neckbreaker before sending Bononi to the floor, where he landed a great Fosbury flop. Peter Avalon avoided a springboard, but ran into a thrust kick and a neckbreaker for 2. Cody tried to dispatch Cesar Bononi. The big man was too strong for him, and he dropped Johnson down hard. Avalon went for the Marty knees, but Johnson avoided them and rolled Avalon up for his first victory in AEW. He actually got the pinfall victory. It wasn't like, oh, he won because Cody picked up the pinfall. No, they actually let Lee Johnson get the win. So I liked that. After the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Johnson with the whole Nightmare family looking on. Johnson said that he wished he had a lot of words, but he really doesn't. He stated that he was 0-29, but now he's 1-29. But his trainers showed him that the hard work can always pay off. The Rhodes family is his family, and they did this for him. Cool little deal they did here for Lee Johnson. I wasn't against it. If it would have went longer, they had the post-match stuff, then I would have been like, okay, you're stretching for time. But I think this was timed perfectly. It wasn't too long, didn't seem too dragged out or anything, so cool. So then in a very odd segment, like yes and no odd. So the Young Bucks were interviewed by Dasha about how they were eliminated early in the match last week, the Battle Royal. The Good Brothers would show up, and they were all hyped up about ratings. But the Young Bucks were kind of mad. Nick was like, you guys cost me the match. You guys got me eliminated. And they were like, whoa, 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 brother. What are you talking about? It was just a formality. It happens. Oh, well. The Good Brothers pointed out that the Bucks, their real beef is not with them, but with the Inner Circle, who eliminated them and taunted them. Matt suggested, why wait till the pay-per-view to defend these titles? Why wait? And your first thought is, oh, they're going to do Good Brothers. But it wasn't. And then this is what made no sense. Matt Jackson then goes, why wait? Next week, we'll defend against Santana and Ortiz. They're a great tag team. Like, what? What the fuck was the need for the Battle Royal if you're just going to give somebody a title shot? That's like people in WWE saying, why do we need the Royal Rumble if 4 guys are just going to get a title shot at Elimination Chamber? But I'm not trying to compare the two. Anyways, Good Brothers like, okay, that would be a good match. That would be a ratings draw. That would pop a number in the demo. They tried to too sweet the Young Bucks. Matt wasn't having it. Matt said, let's do that in private in the back where nobody's watching. And Nick goes, I'll too sweet you. Too sweet. Too sweet. And basically Good Brothers like, too sweet. We got too sweet in front of Sting. Wolfpack, Stinger, brother, too sweet. Fucking Gallows. Gallows is just having the time of his life right now. In another dumb segment, Hangman Page was interviewed by Dasha about potentially teaming up with Matt Hardy. Hardy will then show up and said that they're undeniably special together. He then invited him to an all-you-can-drink bar. It's the bar we see guys in all the time at Daly's Place. Page accepted the invitation, but as he went to walk away, he ran into the entire Dark Order, which led to an awkward encounter, which led to an even dumber segment. Well, this wasn't that dumb, this segment. I was thinking of the second segment later. But going forward, Pac took on Ryan Nemeth. This match was all right. Pac immediately sent Nemeth to the mat with some knee strikes and followed it up with a ridiculous rapid snap suplex. A corner lariat was followed by a missile dropkick, with Pac methodically picking apart Nemeth. Nemeth tried to fight back with a forearm, but Pac laid him out with more kicks. At one point, the two were fighting at ringside, and then when they got back in the ring, Pac beat Nemeth down with more stomps and landed a Black Arrow before transitioning it into a brutalizer to pick up the submission victory. Pac at first wouldn't let go. He was wrenching that move in, and then he did eventually let go. Cool. To me, that was kind of a nothing match. A video played recapping last week's Kip Sabian-Penelope Ford wedding. Miro cut a promo over it, calling out Orange Cassidy. So it looks like we're going to get Orange Cassidy versus Miro sometime soon. Maybe at the pay-per-view. And Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle were interviewed ahead of their match, but MJF, Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz weren't there. MJF arrived with his ribs taped up. He was complaining about Guevara's attack earlier, but it was time for their match, so it's time to go. Guevara was the only Inner Circle member who didn't come down to ringside for the match. They claimed it their usual stick for their entrance. This match was really good. I really thought that the Acclaim shined in this match, and MJF and Jericho made them look really good. I also liked MJF's promo before the match, where he stated that they were all trained at the same place, but because he was a standout and he made it to where others from that same school, I don't remember if he actually name-dropped Creative Pro or not, but he said others from our same school are now getting opportunities because I showed that school can make stars. So, cool. I liked that they put over Creative Pro, but I don't think they ever actually said, and correct me in the live chat or the comments below, I don't think they ever actually said Creative Pro. Also, guys, remember, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. It's right there, 510-906-1341. It is also in the live chat. MJF rolled to the floor early and was like, I'm hurt. Jericho, Chris, you got to go. Jericho tagged in. Ambulance going by. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. It distracted me for a moment. Anyways, Jericho tagged in, but was met with a shoulder block from Caster, who tagged in Bowens, who hit an enziguri and an elbow drop. MJF tagged in, but immediately was met with a suplex for a 2. Claimed targeted MJF's ribs until MJF forced Caster into the corner. This allowed Jericho to make the tag. MJF and Jericho beat Caster down with frequent tags and taunts. Bowens then ran wild on both opponents and dropped Ortiz, who tried to interfere. So, here's the one thing I didn't like about this match, and I thought they were overdoing this bullshit with Aubrey Edwards. So, like I said, Jericho and MJF, quick tags back and forth, back and forth. And at one point, just right in front of the referee, MJF has got a what is it called? Octopus or whatever on, I want to say it was Bowens. And he's got it wrenched in, but then he goes like this and grabs the arm of Jericho so Jericho can pull more tension. And Aubrey's just standing there, not saying anything or doing anything, and then walks up and just kicks their arms apart. And I go, the fuck was that bullshit? A, you call the 5, you say, let go or I'm going to DQ you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 DQ. Or you just call the DQ right away. The ref ain't supposed to get a spot in. I thought they were done with that fucking stupid Aubrey Edwards gotta get a spot in stuff that they did their first year. No. No. It's about the wrestlers, not the referee getting over. I get it. A lot of people like Aubrey Edwards. She seems like a great person. She seems really cool. I like her on the Unrestricted podcast. But it's not for her to have a spot in the match where she gets physical. No. She can take a bump. She can get bumped and knocked down. But the referee is not supposed to basically physically attack the wrestlers in the match. And that's what she did. She didn't give them no warning. She didn't say stop. She did nothing. She just walked up and kicked their legs or kicked their arms apart. I thought that was bullshit. I thought that was stupid. I thought it was unnecessary. So Jericho went for the lion salt, but Caster smacked him with the boombox for a close near fall. Again, not DQ. Not sure if the ref saw that one or not, though. Couldn't tell. The Acclaim then set it for a claim to fame. Jake Hager knocked Caster off the top rope, and Jericho landed the Judas effect to pick up the victory. This is where things get interesting after the match. Sammy finally comes down. Jericho goes, what's your problem? To get 5 minutes to come out here. We wanted you. We needed you out here. Sammy said, I told you for months now, back in December, that if one more thing happened with him, I was done. I gave you an ultimatum. And now I've hit my breaking point. And I'm done. I quit the Inner Circle. And he leaves. And the Inner Circle's looking perturbed. They're like, what's going on? No, Guevara can't be out of the Inner Circle. What do you mean? Sammy's... And so commentary's like, we're going to have to get Alex Marvez on this in the back to see if we can get more information. Well, we did get more information-ish. Alex Marvez met up with Sammy Guevara, who had his bag packed and ready to go. He said, yes, I am leaving the Inner Circle. I'm done. Now, I need to go away because I need to, he said, I need to get away from this place as I need time to focus. So, babyface Sammy Guevara, anytime now. Which Sammy Guevara is an amazing heel, but I would like to see how he can do as a babyface. We've seen him be top of the top, one of the top heels in AEW, but I think he could be a pretty good babyface. Here's Matt Hardy, Hangman Page thing that was just outrageously dumb. Page and Hardy were getting along at this bar. It's the bar we see everybody at all the time. Hardy made a quick toast, but secretly dumped out his drink. And then implied that Page was, the only one drinking. And we're supposed to also believe that Page was hammered. 2 sheets to the wind, as some may say. He then pulled out a contract for Page to sign. And when Page signed it, he looked at the cameraman, ensuring this is the legal document. Basically, Matt Hardy got Hangman drunk enough to sign his, I guess you could say, career away. So the same thing that has happened with Private Party has now happened with Hangman. Guess what it is he takes 30% of any AEW booking fees from Hangman now and 50% from anything outside of AEW. So does this mean we see Hangman show up at Impact? I don't know. But I thought this was stupid, dumb. I mean, what are we going to get? The Dark Order's going to get Hangman out of this contract? I doubt it. And if that's what happens, that's just stupid. We got another nothing happening Sting segment. Tony Schiavone brought out Sting, but before Sting could even talk, Taz talked. Taz said that I'm here with Powerhouse Hobbs. And he said, we got one of your friends. So the camera pans to the back of the truck or SUV, whatever they were driving. I don't remember. And Brian Cage and Ricky Starks had Darby Allin in a body bag tied up to the back of the vehicle. And then they jumped in the vehicle and said, go, as they literally drug Darby Allin in the body bag through the parking lot. Stupid. I get it. Darby likes to do stunts. That one was safer than the fucking throw you over the top rope onto the stage where you can't see where you're bumping one. So I guess that one was more safe. And we don't know. Maybe they had extra padding under Darby as well. I'm going to say right now, I'm not at all excited when they say Sting's going to be on the show. Sting will be interviewed by Tony Schiavone tonight. Whoopity-doo. It means fucking nothing's going to happen. Because in 90% of all these Sting segments, nothing has ever happened. Fox Marvez caught up with Kenny Omega at a golf course. Omega was flabbergasted, but told Marvez to watch his shot, which he chucked way over the green. This was meh. Marvez asked if Omega should maybe be preparing for his match tonight instead of golfing, but Omega said that he's already mastered professional wrestling, and golfing allows him to prepare spiritually. I mean, I think golf is a very calming thing to do. I know guys all the time that they have a stressful week. They go play golf just to relax and calm down. You're outside. If it's a good, nice, not hot but not too cold day, walk out. You walk the links or whatever. I mean, I love golfing myself. And I think golf is, and then they nailed it here. Golf is a nice way to just playing a nice round of golf, whether that's 9 holes or 18 holes. Just a nice way to relax. And I'm not saying mini golf, because mini golf can get fucking frustrating. Fuck the windmill. Anyways, with that fucking clown. Anyways, normal, go to the course, game of golf is really peaceful. Not to everybody, but to most, and I'd agree with Omega here. He said he wasn't going to lose today or tonight. He looked up to the green where Don Callis had put his ball right in the cup. Cool. My name is Earl. And they were helping the guy from Big Bang Theory keep getting hole-in-one shots so he would buy him more drinks at the bar. He'd hit bad, but then they'd secretly sneak his ball right into the hole. So, next up was the first match in the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. Oh, no. Sinclair Saturday. Never said I wasn't a big fan of mini golf. I like mini golf. I just don't think mini golf is relaxing as much as normal golf. That's what I was trying to get at. I think normal golf, going out on the course, 9 or 18 holes, I think that is more relaxing than mini golf. Because, A, mini golf, you got fucking obstacles, like the windmill and the clown. And 2, half the time you go play mini golf, and you got the people behind you rushing you through. When you go to a real golf course, everyone's so courteous, and they go, oh, you haven't finished this hole yet? Take your time, brother. At least that's how it is around here. Especially where I grew up. Anyways, so before the match, a video played where Rosa said that her 3 goals were to win the tournament, win back the NWA Women's Championship, and beat Britt Baker. Excuse me. So this was a pretty good match. Thunder Rosa versus Layla Hirsch. I mean, I'm not too hip on the Japanese women in the tournament, but all the U.S. side matches are very predictable for round 1. And actually, before we get to this, let's talk about those round 1 matches if you guys don't know. Let me pull them up. I got it right here. So on the U.S. side of things, of course, we got Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa. Next week, we will see Serena Deeb versus Riho. Ty Conti will take on Nyla Rose. And Britt Baker will take on Anna Jay. On the Japanese side of things, no, let's talk about the U.S. brackets real fast. So, out of these 4 matches, I think 3 are very predictable. Of course, we know Thunder Rosa won tonight. Serena Deeb and Riho, that's the one that I can see going either way. Riho is a former women's champion, but Serena Deeb is the current NWA women's champion. So because of that, I'm going to have to go Serena Deeb, even though it would be cool to see Riho pick up this win after not being on Dynamite or any AEW program for 11 months. Conti and Nyla Rose, I would assume Nyla Rose. And Britt Baker, Anna Jay, they ain't fucking beating Britt Baker in round 1. On the Japanese side of things, which I believe all these matches will air Monday on YouTube, Yuka Sakazaki versus, and I'm going to butcher some of these names, Mei Suruga, Veni versus Emi Sakura, Maki Tiho versus Ryo Mizunami, and Aja Kong versus Rin Kadokura. But with that, we had Thunder Rosa versus Layla Hirsch tonight. They performed some good technical wrestling here. And it seemed like neither can gain the advantage because right when one would get the advantage, boom, the other would take the advantage. And I kind of liked that. It was like right when you think, oh, this woman's going to take charge of this match. Nope. The other outsmarted and took back. So I liked the back and forth in this match. At one point, Thunder Rosa was sent to the outside and with a Hurricane Rana, and then Layla Hirsch hit a Tope Suicida. Back in the ring, Hirsch tried to lock in a cross arm breaker, but Rosa escaped it. Rosa then hit some corner knees and a dropkick for a 2. Hirsch fought back with a series of German suplexes, but Rosa fought out of the third one. Hirsch landed a diving crossbody for a 2. Hirsch went to the top rope, but Rosa got her knees up on the moonsault attempt. She followed this up with the bicycle knee, but missed on the step-up moonsault. Rosa went for the Fire Thunder driver, but Hirsch transitioned into a cross arm breaker. Rosa forced out of it with her power and hit the Fire Thunder driver to pick up the victory and advance to round 2. I thought this was a good match between the two. Again, like I stated, it was announced that all the Japanese matches will be taking place on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the AEW YouTube channel. We have also learned that Hikaru Shida was sent by AEW to Japan to basically oversee all these matches. So Tony Schiavone then talked with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy cut a great promo here. Jungle Boy talked about FTR kidnapping Marco Stunt. Schiavone said that Stunt is okay, but didn't elaborate on what exactly happened. Jungle Boy addressed Dax Harwood, saying that was one of the hardest fought fights he's ever had in his life. He said, but he came out of that on top, and also a different man. Jungle Boy didn't want FTR suspended. He said, we didn't tattle on you or anything. We wanted you in that match. But he said, when I see Dax Harwood again, I'm going to make him my bitch. Oh, this is a good promo by Jungle Boy. And this is something that is going to elevate Jungle Boy, I believe, to that next level. Got some announcements for next week. FTR will be back as they'll take on the Seidel's, Matt and Mike. Honestly, I've never heard of Mike Seidel. Hangman Page, Matt Hardy, and Private Party will all team up to take on the Hybrid 2 and Chaos Project. Sting will be on the show to call out Team Taz, probably another nothing segment. Second match in the Women's Eliminator Tournament, Riho versus Serena Deeb. And the AEW World Tag Team titles will be on the line when the Young Bucks defend against Santana and Ortiz for some god-awful reason. Who knows? Santana and Ortiz didn't win the Battle Royal. They shouldn't be getting a title shot. What the hell? So, next up, we had the main event. This match was fun. This match was really good. Great television main event. Kenta came out to his New Japan music and graphics and had the briefcase. Moxley came out with the U.S. title. So, we'll see what this all means. Commentary, they said, the forbidden door has been opened. Don Callis joined commentary as they made remarks on Omega having a very, self-absorbed, pompous entrance. So Kenta cracked Moxley early with the briefcase, while Archer attacked Omega. Kenta hit Archer with the briefcase, but Archer no-sold him. They said the only time Archer did that to Kenta. No-sold him. Omega shot blocked him from behind. Omega hit the Kotaro Crusher on Archer, and he and Kenta took turns beating down Moxley. But We weren't on the same page this whole time. They had some issues, whatever, but it did get resolved. They traded strikes with Moxley. Archer pounded Omega across the ring, and he and Moxley hit running clotheslines on an opponent on their. Excuse me. Big old sneeze there. I think I can mute my microphone. Whew, let me take a drink real fast. Where were we? Archer pounced Omega across the ring, and he and Moxley hit running clotheslines on their opponents. Archer went for a powerbomb, but Omega hit a Hurricane Rana out of it, and the two went to the floor. So in the ring, it was Moxley and Kenta, and they exchanged forearms. Kenta went for the GTS, but Moxley went for the paradigm shift. Omega then interrupted with a trash can shot to Mox. At one point, Archer introduced a ladder into the mix and ran over both Omega and Kenta. Moxley landed a tope suicida on Kenta, and Archer suplexed Omega headfirst into the ladder, which looked brutal. Looked horrible. Like horrible as far as that hurt. We had a commercial break here, but during the break, we had picture-in-picture and just saw a lot of brawling and a lot of weapon shots. After the break, Kenta, for some reason, attacked Peter Avalon and hit him with a GTS. Like, focus on the fucking match, guy. Archer attacked Kenta, but Omega went for a springboard, and Archer caught him out of midair and chokeslammed him through Avalon's bed set up at ringside. Moxley entered the fray and sent Kenta into the barricade. He set Kenta up on a chair and landed a mid kick for a 2. Moxley brought Kenta up into the stands, where they brawled up the stairs. Cameras cut to a kitchen, which was the same kitchen where the Young Bucks fought the Butcher and the Blade. And then in a spot that could have went really bad, they're fighting in this kitchen. Moxley and Kenta took turns tossing each other into all the equipment, and they fought on top of one of the tables. So there are these 4 tables on wheels to make like one larger table, I guess you could say. And so Kenta hit a DDT on the table, and the table moves. If they were just shifted over to, I want to say, the left, just slightly, they would have crashed right through the 2 tables. Like, the tables would have split, and they would have just right to the floor. That would have been bad. So, good thing they were positioned perfectly centered on that table. But Kenta did lock in the game over, and Archer broke it up with a bunch of potatoes. A box of potatoes. Yet, Omega beat him down with a trash can, a little plastic one. The announcers recapped the action so far and cut back to the outside, where Omega and Moxley brawled towards the ring. Moxley attacked with a chair and a kendo stick over and over. Moxley went for a diving kendo stick shot, but Omega hit a V-trigger out of it in midair. Kenta and Archer appeared out of the tunnel, and Omega hit a V-trigger on the floor, setting Moxley up on the table. Archer sent the announcers away, tried to powerbomb Kenta through the table, but Kenta fought off and jumped off the stage with a diving foot stomp through Moxley. At one point, Archer set it for the blackout, but the Good Brothers would run out. This allowed Kenta to attack with the distraction. Kenta hit 2 spinning back fists, but Archer no-sold it. Anderson then was about to get choke slammed when he transitioned to that, countered it into a gun stun. With Archer down, Jake Roberts tried to get involved, and he was dispatched by Anderson with a short arm clothesline. Gallows then took down Roberts with a right hand. Jake took down. There's a lot going on here. Jake took down Anderson. Gallows took down Jake. Omega then hit a V-trigger on Jake. Was going to hit the V-trigger on Jake, but Moxley cut him off with a barbed wire bat. He ran wild and hit both Good Brothers as well. Kenta then hit the GTS on Moxley, dispatching him. Archer then went for the double choke slam on the Good Brothers. On Omega and Kenta. They low-blowed him, and the Good Brothers hit him with a magic killer. Omega hit the V-trigger, then hit an assisted one-winged angel on Archer to pick up the victory. A lot was going on at the end of this match. It started to kind of get a little much, but it ended right, I think, around the perfect time. Like, right before too much was happening, it hit that finish. So, I really enjoyed this main event match. I thought it was really, really fun. And now let's see what you guys thought of tonight's AEW Dynamite. 88% of you on Twitch liked it. 13% thought it was all right. And nobody disliked Dynamite on Twitch. As far as the YouTube audience does go, it looks like 54% of you did like Dynamite. 29% thought it was all right. And 16% did not like it. See if we can get this. There we go. But with that, that was AEW Dynamite again. I really enjoyed most of the show. I told you what I thought was dumb and stupid and didn't make sense. But now, let's move over to NXT. Let's throw a new poll up in the live chat. New poll. What did you think of tonight's Whoops, I did not mean to clear the chat out. New poll. There we go. Tonight's NXT. I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right, let me know what you guys thought on Twitch. Pulling the same poll up on YouTube. What did you guys think of tonight's NXT? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. So tonight's NXT was the go-home show for this weekend's NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. I guess you could, not really pay-per-view, but event on the WWE Network. And this may be the last takeover on the WWE Network. Remember, the WWE Network transitions over to Peacock. I keep wanting to say March 10th, but I think it's March 15th. March 18th. March 18th is when WWE moves over to Peacock. So there is a chance we get one more takeover on the WWE Network as we know it now. But this is probably the last takeover on this incarnation of the WWE Network. The show kicks off with a Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, I want to say semifinal match. MSK, Wes Lee, and Nash Carter against Legado del Fantasma, Raul Mendoza, and Joaquin Wilde. The heat was on Lee early as the heels worked him over. Hot tag from Carter had him run wild for a little while, and the babyfaces made a comeback as they began to show. As the show returned from a commercial, not much happened before the commercial, though. Really, Lee cleaned house after a hot tag. Carter with an assisted shooting star press off the apron to the floor. Lee then followed this up with a tope con Grillo over the top rope to the floor. At one point, though, Mendoza held Carter in a fireman's carry, and Wilde jumped off the top rope with a springboard onto his back, like a double foot stomp onto the fireman's carry deal. Cool looking move. And Wilde also hit a 450 splash on Lee. I don't know if I explained that 100% right, but it was a cool looking spot nonetheless. Lee did catch a small package here and got a near fall, though. Another comeback from MSK, and they executed their heart attack blockbuster finish. Carter then covered Wilde to pick up the victory and advance to the finals of the Dusty Cup, which takes place this Sunday. And then got a good video package on Mercedes Martinez. I like that WWE did this tonight. They sprinkled in these video packages about Martinez, Storm, and Shirai throughout the show, since they're the three women fighting for the women's title. Yeah, Fonzie, we will be talking about NXT predictions at the end of the review. Next up, we have Zaya Lee versus Cora Jade. And I don't know what's going on here, but Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter came down to ringside. They were like, Zaya Lee, we're worried. This isn't you. Why are you acting like this? And she was just like, didn't really say much. I don't even think she said anything. She jumped in the ring, beat down Cora Jade faster than I can count, and that was it. There was a little bit of a distraction from Catanzaro and Carter, but it didn't really matter. They quickly ran through Cade and just destroyed her. But after the match, this is really weird. Caden Carter would walk up to, and I can't, Ming Yin, or whatever they call her, because on WWE.com, they call her like, I can't remember exactly what it was. Hold on. Because they call her something different on NXT than they call her on WWE.com. They called her on WWE.com. Tane Shaw. Tiansha. Now, is that supposed to be their little threesome group? Tyan Shaw? And she's Ming Yang or whatever? I don't know. But Hayden Carter got in her face as she's sitting on her throne. And she's like, who are you? Why are you doing this? That's not Zaya. What have you done to Zaya? Why? Talk to me. Tell me. What is going on here? And Zaya Lee would walk up, grab Caden Carter, and chuck her off the stage. Took a nasty looking bump. Hard bump. And Zaya Lee would go over and be like, I'm sorry. That will never happen again. I will never let that happen again. And Boa would walk up and get grabbed, like right here. She had grabbed him and just, I don't know if she was choking him or what. But then she was like, put some spell on Zaya Lee again. And Zaya Lee went and beat Casey Catanzaro's ass. Where was I? Zaya Lee then went back up to Tyan Shaw, or whatever we're calling this lady. And she basically just stood there with her and Boa. And she's still in control of them, I guess. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I don't know. I'm kind of dumbfounded by all of this, to be honest, because it seems cool in theory. We know that she's supposed to be like over 1,000 years old and a wizard, witch, warlord, whatever you want to call them. But anyways, Mackenzie Mitchell met up with William Regal in the back. She's like, hey, Mr. Regal, I just want to get your thoughts on the other 2 Dusty Cup matches later on tonight. He goes, hey, this should be great matches. 2 teams will make it to the finals. He opens his office doors. He says he's got some business to take care of, and boom, Charlotte. Charlotte is sitting on his desk. She said, if he comes, good things are not going to happen. Next week, he wants Santos Escobar. Regal goes, you want it? You got it. So next week, Karrion Kross for Santos Escobar. Why? What the fuck? I put on Twitter, why is this match even happening? And someone tried telling me, well, Santos Escobar talked crap about Karrion Kross. Okay, why did he talk crap about Karrion Kross? This feud makes no sense. I had one motherfucker tweet at me and go, it's all about the title. Duh. No. You got to be 205 or lower to go for the Cruiserweight title. Karrion Kross weighs 265. So next up, we got Johnny Gargano. Is he injured or not? We all been played a fool. Johnny's not injured. Johnny Gargano is fine. They played it up like he has to be in a wheelchair and he's got an arm injury, but he obviously doesn't. They literally carried him into the ring, got his wheelchair into the ring and all of that. So he's talking about a broken arm, he can't walk, blah, 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 blah. Poor Johnny. Theory and Indy were consoling him. Candice was upset. They said it's all Sheeta's fault. And Regal would come out. He's like, Johnny. And he's like, where's that coming from? What? He's like, over here, dummy. It's me. Like, he said something like that. He said something like he called him dummy or idiot or something. It was funny. I can't remember exactly. But Regal's like, Johnny, what is all this? We know, you know, just as well as I do, medical cleared you yesterday. Gargano goes, nuh-uh, look at my x-ray. And so the x-ray pops up on the screen. It says John Gargano R. And Regal goes, really? It says R on the screen. That means right arm, but you're nursing a left arm injury. And Johnny goes, nuh-uh. That doesn't say R for right. Look, it says John Gargano on it. I'm John Gargano. But it says R for real because that is a real x-ray of my arm that is broke. I can't compete at TakeOver. And Regal goes, okay. You got 2 propositions. Either title gets put on the line tonight, and Austin Theory defends it for you against Kushida, we forfeit the title. And Johnny's like, what? And Austin Theory goes, yeah, let me defend the title for you. Let me defend it. And Johnny's looking at him like, are you stupid? He's like, I wouldn't do that. And then Kushida appears in the ring behind them. And they don't know that he's there. And Regal goes, whatever decision you want to make, you got to confirm that with Kushida. And Johnny's like, why? And Regal goes, well, Kushida, are you okay with either of this? And Johnny's like, what are you talking about? Why you Kushida? And they're all looking around, but they never look behind them. And then finally Austin Theory kind of goes like this. And he goes, oh, Kushida. And Kushida attacks. So Kushida led Gargano. Wait, where was I? I just lost my spot here. Oh, Kushida snuck into the ring and jumped the way from behind. He got Gargano to play a little game of tug of war with the title. Kushida let Gargano win the tug of war, and Gargano snatched the title away. Gargano was using both hands, and the sling popped off, and he was just like, and Kushida's like, your arm's fine. And I was waiting. I thought there was a missed opportunity. They caught it on commentary, but it was a missed opportunity. Johnny should have went, it's a miracle. Like, it would have been perfect. He would have played it up so well. But when he realized, oh, crap, I'm using both arms, he, walked back, fell over the wheelchair. Commentary yelled, it's a miracle. Vic Joseph. I thought this was all right. Dumb that they had to do it this way. But in the end, it was all played out well. She then decked Gargano with a punch. Again, that was when Gargano stepped back and took the Bret Hart bump over the wheelchair. And this is all Candice and Indy's match next, when Regal's like, all right, we got a women's Dusty Cup match that we need to get going, so you guys get out of here. So Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Winners advance to the finals of the women's Dusty Cup. The heels worked over Shotzi during the beginning portions of this match. Moon was able to tag in, turning the tides for a little while. It was soon cut off before a commercial break. After the break, Blackheart cleaned house. She came in off of a hot tag, and Ember Moon was soon back in the match as well. Quick tags back and forth between the baby faces. LeRae hit an assisted springboard, Cabrata, and beefed it. Just completely beefed it. I don't know what it was, but pretend my fingers are the ropes. Hold on. I'm gonna visualize this. Okay, so pretend my fingers are the ropes, and we got Candice LeRae here. So Candice goes for this dive. She's running. She dives through the ropes, but then for some reason she gets halfway through. She kind of pauses. Then she kind of pauses. Then moves forward a little, and then just beefs it straight down. And Shotzi was not in the right spot. She was farther back. And she barely hits Shotzi enough to make it look believable that she knocked her down. But Candice freaking just beefed it, whiffed it, just face planted. She was fine, though. Blackheart took a wicked stepsister from LeRae back in the ring, though. And then Hartwell hit a springboard flying elbow drop on Blackheart. Moments later, Blackheart was fighting back. She caught Hartwell with a DDT. Blackheart then went for a senton, and Hartwell jumped on top of LeRae to save her. Blackheart then hit the senton and covered Hartwell to pick up the victory. So, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart advanced to the finals of the Dusty Cup. So, after the match, their opponents, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, come out, and Regal makes it official. Not only are you guys going to be in the first ever finals of the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, but the winners will get a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. In the back, Santos Escobar, was being interviewed when his henchmen would walk in, and he was just they're like, I'm sorry for what happened last week with Karen. He's like, you never need to apologize. Apologizing means you did something wrong, and you didn't do something wrong, but you now know what to do. Go get him. We dispatched his men. Go get him. Video package hyped up the NXT Championship match on Sunday. Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. And my first thought was, oh, crap, is this the only face-to-face we're going to get? Because they promised us a face-to-face, but didn't show us anything else until like the closing moments of the show, which was kind of weird. Oh, and my notes are froze. Give me 1 second to refresh this. All right, there we go. So, Kushida took on Austin Theory with Johnny Gargano. No entrances, just right into the match as we returned from a commercial break. They started to brawl, and, well, they went to it. Kushida was very aggressive and showed a lot of fire. Gargano tried to cause a distraction multiple times, and Kushida instead punished Theory with kicks and such. Theory was seemingly supposed to trip up Kushida on a springboard, but Kushida appeared to trip himself on the ropes for real. Clunky looking spot, but they caught it, and they made it look fine. We went to commercial break. Afterwards, Theory was working over Kushida. Kushida made a comeback, and he targeted the arm of Austin Theory. The fight spilled to the outside, and Kushida caught Theory in an armbar on the apron, but Gargano super kicked Kushida to cause the disqualification. The heels are beating down Kushida as they rolled him back into the ring. Someone from under the ring would snatch Theory, and Theory was being dragged under the ring. Gargano went after him, but it was too late. He would then pull out the man that was unknown. Gargano still thought that he was saving the day when he drug out none other than Dexter Lumis instead. This startled Gargano, and he backstepped. Lumis also frightened Theory, who crawled from the other side of the ring. Kushida caught Theory in an armbar, and Gargano ran in to make the save, but Gargano was caught with a hoverboard lock. Lumis choked out Theory as Kushida held the North American title in the air and laughed. He then put the title down next to Gargano, basically seeming he's ready for takeover. Well, Johnny's not hurt. Kushida is getting his match on Sunday. Going forward, we got a 20 Storm video package, basically saying why she is going to win the title on Sunday. Another Imperium hype video. Not sure exactly what's going on with that. Are we getting Walter? I don't know. Alexander Wolf came back. Haven't seen them since. Then, we see Legado del Fantasma. Raul Mendoza, Joaquin Wilde, they're laid out. Karrion Kross appears because he's beat their asses. Got a promo and said that he's going to do what he did to them to Santos Escobar next week. And then we get the return. The return of a man who has gone to the moon. Baby! Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes shows up in a Lamborghini and is just handing out stacks of cash. Came in wearing a brand new hat, brand new brown leather hat, brown leather vest, no shirt. And well, you got a new Cameron Grimes. He's still annoying Cameron Grimes like he's supposed to be, but now he's rich annoying Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes said that, well, he went away for a little while after dealing with Dexter Lumis. And in that time away, he learned about video games. And he beat all of his video games and needed to go to a store. And he went to that store. Now it's called GameStop. He then realized that you can buy stock in GameStop, and he did it at the perfect time because he got rich off GameStop stock. And then tried to mention Dogecoin, but called it Doggy Coin, and says now he's richer than ever. Grimes says he was elated to the moon, took off his sports coat, and he basically acted like Ric Flair. Grimes screamed that he's richer than Elon Musk. Grimes started hollering, and everybody saying that everybody can kiss his grits. Grimes said that he has so much money that it's hilarious. He made snow angels in the ring on his money. Like, holy crap, they're doing it. But my thing is, Cameron Grimes, so he's going to play this frickin' to a T. And let me find Cameron Grimes on Twitter because he sent out just the best tweet after this. Cameron Grimes sent out a tweet that stated, this was after he appeared on NXT. Come on, where is it? He said, I threw, and he had to get specific, $36,432 in the ring tonight. But who's counting? Hashtag kiss my grits. Hashtag to the moon. So we've got a brand new, rich Cameron Grimes. It's still going to be the same old Cameron Grimes, but he's going to be more annoying than ever now because he's got money. That's all it is. It's the same character, other than he's turning it up even more. And like I said, ain't no one going to play this character as well as him. Like, I don't see anybody that can play a character like this, or even the former Cameron Grimes character like he can. Like Trevor Lee is just perfect in the role they've given him. As we move on to our main event. Moving forward, we had the final match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic to set the finals. It was the Grizzled Young Veterans who made it to the finals last year against Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa, and this match, as the kids would say, slapped. This match went hard. This match was good. Ciampa had an early advantage before he was shoved into the ring steps before he went to a commercial break early. Thatcher was worked over until the show returned from break in the picture-in-picture. He fought back, but was outnumbered by the Grizzled Young Veterans. Ciampa was still down, selling the spot from earlier, and he did eventually recover to make a hot tag. Ciampa cleaned house with a fury of offense, just a flurry. However, he was cut off. Drake then knocked down Thatcher off the apron, blocking Ciampa from tagging out. Ciampa took a doomsday device, and Thatcher jumped back into the ring to make the save barely. Barely. A melee developed here in the closing moments of this match where Thatcher was dispatched after taking a tope. Ciampa was blocked from executing the Widow's Bell, and then Ciampa took a ticket to mayhem. Gibson covered Ciampa and picked up the victory as Drake basically held Thatcher on the apron so he couldn't jump in to break the cover. I thought this match was really fun. I would have even been fine if it went 2 or 3 more minutes, but with that, MSK will now face off against GYV, Grizzled Young Veterans, at TakeOver this Sunday. Dusty Cup on the line. And I think Regal said it, but I didn't quite hear him. Title shot against Birch and Lorcan for the winners. And if I'm going to make a... Well, I'll wait a moment before we do that. So, all of a sudden, there was some mixed footage. I don't know exactly what happened here, but out of nowhere, Pete Dunne and Finn Balor are just in the ring staring at each other as the show goes off the air. They told us we were going to get a face-to-face, and technically we did, but what bullshit was this? What bullshit was this face-to-face? But with that, we now have to talk about NXT Takeover. NXT Takeovers this weekend. This coming Saturday, Valentine's Day, same day as the Daytona 500, February 14th, is NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. They said, why celebrate Vengeance Day? Or why celebrate Valentine's Day when you can celebrate Vengeance Day? Pull up the full card right here, and we will run it down and give some predictions. First off, in the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, we got Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez against the team of Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Now, here's the thing. I can see this going either way, but if the winners are getting a title shot, and we are presuming that that's going to be against Shayna and Nia, because I don't see Lana and Naomi taking the titles from them. I see Ember Moon and Shotzi winning, so it's babyface versus heel. Going forward in the Men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, MSK will be taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans. Like I stated earlier, this is the second year in a row that the Grizzled Young Veterans have made the finals. And, well, I think they go all the way with MSK. I think MSK picks up the victory here and earns themselves what I would assume is a title shot. Going forward in a triple threat match with the Women's Championship on the line, the NXT Women's Championship, Io Shirai will be defending against Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. Now, this is the hardest one to predict out of all of this. Honestly, I think it's time for Io to come up to the main roster. But do you put the title on Toni or Mercedes Martinez? I would say Toni Storm, but it's like, do they really take the title off of Io? I'm probably wrong here, but I'm going to say Toni Storm wins the title at TakeOver. I'm probably wrong here, but I say they take the title. Here, I'm going to say it right here. I'm going to go one step further. The reason this match is a triple threat is so Toni Storm can pin Mercedes Martinez to become the champion, and they could say that Io was never technically beaten or pinned or submitted to lose the belt. Going forward with the NXT North American Championship on the line, Johnny Gargano defends against Kushida. As much as I would like to see Kushida win the title, I don't think it happens. Johnny Gargano keeps that belt with the way this Sunday. And finally, the NXT Championship on the line, Finn Balor against Pete Dunne. You got to keep that title on Finn Balor. You got to keep that title on Finn, so eventually you can do Finn versus Karrion Kross. That match would be so amazing. So my pick to retain the NXT Championship is Finn Balor. With that, guys, that was NXT. Let's check your polls real fast. On Twitch, 71% thought NXT was just all right, with 29% liking it. On YouTube, 62% of you liked NXT, 23% thought it was all right, and 14% did not like the show. But with that, guys, now I want to hear from you guys specifically on what you thought of either tonight's AEW or NXT. You can do so by texting into 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. Whoops. As we pull those up right here. All right, first text message says, what are your thoughts on the AEW Women's Eliminator Tournament? I'm not excited about anything they do with their women, unfortunately, because their women get like 5 minutes a week. And they do nothing to excite me in those 5-10 minutes. So honestly, am I looking forward to the tournament? Not really. And what are the finals going to be? Britt Baker versus Ryo Mizunami? I don't know. This next message is here states, if you don't mind telling me who won the match filmed in New Japan. If you're talking about Moxley versus Omega or Moxley versus Kenta, I don't know. People in New Japan keep things very tight-lipped and don't let things spoil out. Like I said, I was told Moxley may not have been the only surprise at the tapings for that big show on the 26th, but no one would tell me anything further than that. It says, I'm not expecting AEW to be as good as it was tonight. I thought it was a pretty good show, a really good show. It says, I know we talking about AEW and NXT stuff. Asuka need Raw Championship on the line, 4-way match between Naomi and Evans and Alexa. First off, not going to be rude, but we need complete sentences here as I tell my 9-year-old son doing his homework, because I can decipher this, but it is just a jumble of words that is hard to read. This person said, I thought it was funny when Sammy took MJF's phone and punched him in the stomach. I can't wait to see what they do with them now. He's a babyface. Yeah, I think they could do great things with Sammy Guevara as a babyface, as long as he doesn't put the panda head back on. I don't want to see him with the panda head. And this person says, if Io Shirai retains the Women's Championship at TakeOver, do you see Raquel Gonzalez dethroning her after competing in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic with Dakota? That's a good way to go. Whenever Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor happens sometime this year, do you see it being a singles match or some type of stipulation? Probably a singles match with Kross winning, because Finn wasn't supposed to be the champion right now. It was always supposed to be Karrion Kross. And finally, this last one says, with Sammy Guevara eventually turning babyface, what do you see the story being about? I've always thought it'd be babyface Guevara and Jericho against the Inner Circle. I mean, they could still go that way. Jericho could get outed by the Inner Circle with MJF taking over and basically having Hager, Santana, and Ortiz with him. I don't know how they go that route, but we still could get Jericho kicked out of Inner Circle. Maybe Jericho messes up at Revolution and they don't win the tag titles, and MJF kind of gets mad at Jericho and somehow kicks him out. But then would Hager leave too? Because Hager is diehard with Jericho. I don't know. There's a lot they can do here, and there's a lot we can predict. And there's like 3 different things that I'm thinking in my head that they can do but we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, there is still an opportunity to get Jericho out of Inner Circle and have him still with Sammy Guevara. Also, what Sammy's saying, I need to go away for a little bit. I don't think we see Sammy again, and I could be wrong on this, but I don't think we see Sammy again till after Revolution. Heck, maybe Sammy cost them the tag titles at Revolution. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Also, I want to thank you for joining me here. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. We'll be live again on a Friday night talking about SmackDown. And I also want to let you guys know that I'm going to be live probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, playing some Fortnite with some friends. We got a full squad that should be joining up together, so that should be really, really fun. Again, head over to twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, as we're going to be playing some games over there in roughly the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. With that, guys, have a great, great night, and I will see you next time.